Hi, welcome to Matt's Garage. Take off my dork glasses here. Safety first though. Yeah, whew, man. I got a lot of parts. You ever get that feel? I mean, this is a good problem to have. Definitely a good problem to have where you have like so many parts though that you can't manage your space. So yeah, I'm happy about it. I am, I'm not complaining. What I'm working on right now is my engine mount. So let me show you the situation. Get some lights going here. I have these Harbor Freight engine stands are garbage. This came, I think I mentioned to you, with the sort of side hanging engine mount. So what I've got instead from Trans-Dapt is this Crossmember. It's 120 wall. Let's check that. I think it's 120 wall. 0.10. So no, it is 90 wall. 0.0090. Which kind of sucks. Kind of would have rather seen it 120 wall. So Trans-Dapt, if you're listening, you know, up your game a little. Just put it 120 wall. I'll pay 10 extra bucks for 120 wall. So what I'll do is, since it is it's 090, is I'll probably give it just a little bit of a gusset here, and then maybe a small gusset here, depending on how it fits. So I'm going to whiz these off, get the stock motor mounts, and then see where we're at. These are the stock style motor mounts, okay? It's a rubber isolator with an ear. Now, this should theoretically fit over this Trans-Dapt ear, but that's a terrible setup because basically it puts all the weight on your bolt. I've seen other Chevy small block setups where they basically do this off of the frame with a little sleeve. It's really not a good solution, and I'm not gonna keep it. I just wanted the Crossmember. So I have this corresponding piece, right? This is what sits on the inside of a C10 Crossmember normally. So then this sits on top like that, and the rubber sits on the metal, and the bolt is just there as a locator. It's not the weight bearer. The weight bearer is the steel and the rubber, which is what I think is the preferred method. So what I'm going to do basically is cut off these ears. Not right now. Right now I'm just going to mock it up. Basically cut off these ears, and then I'm going to like basically somehow fab this so it sits on the Crossmember like that. I can already tell I probably am going to cut this and then mount it up to this. And basically get as tight up against the pan as I can without any chance of it hitting under deflection. Forgot I need to change my portaband saw here. These things are great, but if you lean too much on them, the teeth do go dull on you. Okay, now I got the ears cut off of that Trans-Dapt piece. I'm going to mock this up here, see where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to start by trimming this ear off of here. What I like to do is just get it to be sitting as deep into that as I can. Okay, it's getting pretty close. So now I'll probably start notching instead of just cutting. I did a little notchy notch and now it fits great, so I'm just going to mark where I need to cut the ear. I've got this mocked up. with some zip ties. It's a weld-on part, but the genius is at Trans-Dapt decided to powder coat it. And it's like, why are you powder coating something that needs to be welded, dude? It's just rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. That's at 27 and a bit. That's at 28, great, so that's totally jacked up. Man, come on. I need this from you right now. You're embarrassing me. So I'm going to cut that spot weld off and do that again. Part of the process, guys. I had a couple failed attempts, but I figured out I could use a ratchet strap to get it level. Just kind of comes with the territory, guys. Gotta expect some rework. Perfect. Perfect! That's great. Nice and even, good spacing, nice and level. Exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to pull it off and weld it. Alright, so this is it. I've got it all welded up all the way around and ground down. It's not beautiful, but the welds are strong. There's good penetration. So I'm just going to put this up here. That's it. It's like stock. So that's awesome. The way these Trans-Dapt cross members work is they come with this foot that's got holes for 7/16 bolts. So it's really designed for a C-channel frame. So this would sit in the C-channel and rest on the inside of the C-channel and then bolt through. Scout's got a box frame. So what I'm going to do is shorten both the leg and the arm to fit the frame. Then I'm going to take some 3/16 plate and weld 4 7/16 nuts onto the back, drill 4 holes in the frame, and then weld that plate into the frame. It'll spread the load out, and I'll have those built-in bolts in there, and that way my cross member will forever be removable, but it'll still be really rigid, and I think it's going to be a nice, strong deal. My impressions of the quality of this Trans-Dapt cross member are, I really wish it was 120 wall. It would just give me that extra peace of mind. I'm going to gusset it here. I just can't do that until I cut this and cut that and get my length in. And then what I'll do is I'll drill holes through this 2 here and then 2 back here wherever it's cut. And then I'm going to plug weld those. So kind of like an axle tube gets done. So that's going to do it, and then obviously around the perimeter. So that's not going to go anywhere. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a great foundation. The reason I went this way is because I don't have a tube bender. If I had a tube bender, I would just take 120 wall and bend it to whatever I want. But, you know, for 60 bucks or whatever it is, it's not a bad deal. I also bought a very similar Trans-Dapt transmission mount. I'm going to put this is the AX15 transmission mount. Now that fits great here, but then it doesn't give me room for these bolts. So that will have to be modified, obviously, to work with this. So it's going to be a bit tough because if I move this over, then it's going to be a tight fit to get nuts on there. But that's okay. I kind of expected to have to do some fab on this as well. But it's a similar setup, same wall thickness. Not as important for the tranny, but yeah. So that's going to be the back. So yeah. So let me just show you the frame tunnel for the Scout. So these are the Scout 2 frame rails. This is that transmission cross member I was just showing you. I've shaved off the the old motor mounts that I had, the old Chevy motor mounts, and I cleaned off the manual clutch nub that was over there. So I'm going to finish cleaning up this frame rail, and then I think the cross member is going to go about here where it's angled. So I'm going to build a plate, sort of finish boxing that out, and then that'll be where my new engine cross member sits, and then my transmission cross member will be about where the old one is. But that one's just like basically sheet metal, thicker sheet metal, bent. So this should be an improvement theoretically. If it's weak or breaks, I can just get some tubing and replace the tubing. Might be able to do that anyway. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. So that's it. I hope this was helpful. I actually did a lot of research on how to make your own motor mounts, and like there's threads on it, but there's not a lot of videos on it. So this is how you make a small block Chevy or small block Ford motor mount that's factory-ish. It's way better than the way it comes with that standoff with the sleeve, because that's just a lot of tension on a very small surface area. The way I've done it here basically spreads the load of the motor and torsional forces across a wider surface area, which you always want when you're mixing weight and momentum. So I think it's going to be good. And if not, I'll build another one. See you next time on Matt's Garage.